Hi, thank you for your interest in Lindsay Kaye Wellness. I am Lindsay Kaye. I thought I would make an introduction video to let you know a little bit about myself and why I wanted to be a wellness coach. I'm a bisexual polyamorous mother of 2 young kids. I live with my primary partner and my dear friend of 10 years. I am a COO of an RPG company. I'm nerdy and I have the mouth of a well-educated sailor. I am not afraid to tell the truth. I'm very upfront. And I will not tell you any lies. I'm not going to ever sugarcoat things. But more about myself. I have body dysmorphia. I've had body dysmorphia since I was about 13 years old. It started when I was in ballet. And when I started going into point classes at about 12 years old, I started noticing that everybody else's body was shaped differently than me. There was a lot of really tall, slender, skinny girls, and I was not. I was very short. I had bigger legs. I had bigger thighs, a bigger butt, and I felt like I looked different. I started to internalize things that were being said to me by my teacher, by the students in the ballet class, and by my friends as well, who were questioning why I was shaped differently. Because I'm biracial, I have both Hispanic and then I have Caucasian or Irish and German in me. I didn't look like everybody else, and I realized that, and I thought that that meant that I was completely ugly. So I started starving myself. I started doing workout regimens. I even went as far as to join the football team in high school and become a kicker, which ironically enough made my legs bigger, or at least to me, where I had more muscle on my legs, because you would have to continuously do leg presses and have to do all of this working out and all of this weightlifting to get stronger. So I wasn't getting skinnier, I was getting more muscle on my legs, but it made it look like to me that I was getting fatter. And I ended up quitting the ballet company I was with because off stage, my ballet teacher told me I looked fat. I looked like the fattest person on stage and that I had to lose weight. He even went as far as to tell me that I had to throw up all of my food. I wasn't allowed to have that much food. I was allowed maybe steamed broccoli and chicken as a reward once a week. Unfortunately, that turned into something that became more vicious. I started to become, suicidal. I started hating myself. I would not look in the mirror every single time I got out of the shower, and it really took a toll on my self-esteem. I ended up having such a low self-esteem that I married very young and married into a very unhealthy marriage of over 12 years, where my husband at the time would also make fun of how different I looked, how small I was, or how big my legs were, or how big my butt was. And his friends would make fun of me or talk about it, and then I would start making fun of myself, so I didn't feel so uncomfortable about the fact that someone who I thought I was in love with was making fun of me. And I didn't realize that it was wrong, or I didn't realize that he was indeed the reason why my body dysmorphia was not getting better, until my partner now, was my friend at the time, kind of pointed out that there were things that he was saying to me that I could question and figure out that they were not what you should be saying to your partner. And so I was able to divorce him. I ended up going to abuse counseling, over 4 years. And during that time, I was taught how to give up the bad habits from an abusive marriage, give up the self-hating and self-loathing habits that I had. I was taught how to start advocating for myself and start taking up for myself and start to learn how to fall in love with myself again. Because I was, I had my partner now, but my friend at the time, because he was there, and because he also went through a lot of abusive relationships in his past, he was able to teach me how to love myself again. And he was also able to teach me that it's okay that I'm really honest, and it's okay that I want to take up for myself. And so I started working from the inside out, figuring out how to love what's inside of me and then eventually working on what's on the outside of me, and not by starving myself, and not by going on special diets, and not by exercising, but just being happy with who I am, falling in love with who I am now. And I realized that I wanted to start helping other people. I had several friends that would come to me for counseling who were either in bad relationships or who were in transition from being a woman to a man, or a man to a woman, and they started really hating their bodies, or people who were actually wanting to come out to their families, or they came out to their families and they ended up getting all kinds of hate or rejection from their families, and they internalized it. I wanted to start to be there for them. I wanted to figure out how we could teach them how to love themselves again. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that is not by picking out clothes, or doing special types of makeup, or doing your hair a special way, or going on these crash diets, or these different kinds of keto diets or whatever, and exercising. That's not going to help. You actually have to work from the inside out. You have to figure out what your triggers are. You have to figure out what is making you feel this way, and figure out how to remove it from your life and replace it with better habits. And so I decided to become a wellness coach, more concentrated on body image than anything else. But I wanted to start to teach people what was not good, what are not good examples, from the warped body image that you might see on Instagram that is more often than not highly touched up, or on Facebook, where you see all these women in these fancy workout clothes, and you feel like, well, I wish I could look like that. But realizing that it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to look that perfect shape. You don't have to have the perfect hourglass figure. You don't have to have these perfect breasts or these perfect legs. You actually need to know how to love yourself from the inside out. And working from the inside out means that you're aware of your body, you're aware of what your triggers are, you're aware of the toxicity that you might have in your life. So this is the lesson that I have, or this is the lesson I came up with because it's what worked for me, is I want to be able to mentor people. I want to mentor you. I want to show you that you have the ability to come up with ways to love yourself, or to treat yourself, or to show that you're worth it, that you are worth a person's time, you're worth things that you want to do in your life. Secondly, I want to work on your body image, and that means also what's going on the inside, where your hate of your body might come from, or where your hate of yourself might come from. Thirdly, I want to be able to tailor my services that I have for you, and that depends on what weaknesses you might have, whether it be that you have trouble getting up every day to work out, or you feel like, well, I can't reward myself with this thing once a week because I don't feel like I deserve it. Or you feel like you don't have the right to ask friends to be there for you, or have the right to ask someone to drop something so that they can actually be there for you, or be your beacon friend. And lastly, mindfulness. So mindfulness doesn't necessarily have to do with meditation and yoga. It can do with so much more. Being aware of your body, and being aware of when you need to relax. Being aware of when you need to have time for yourself, and being aware of when you need to recharge your batteries. So this is the lessons that I've come up with. I really hope that it is beneficial for whoever decides to sign up for these classes. If you want to check out my website, you can go to several different places, which one of them is my Facebook page, which is Lindsay Kaye Wellness. You can also find me at Lindsay Kaye Wellness on Instagram and Twitter, and also WordPress. WordPress will probably have more videos and more blogs about different subject matters, but you can also find me on YouTube as well at Lindsay Kaye Wellness. So I really hope that you get the chance to visit my websites, and I really hope that I get to know you a little bit better as well.